You were not guided here by curiosity. You were summoned here by divine orchestration. Something beyond your ordinary perception arranged for these words to find you in this precise moment. This message didn't appear by chance. It descended through light. The timing of this revelation, 19th October, this evening, is not random. It is the appointed hour when the heavens open a rare current of abundance, and your soul was chosen to receive its transmission. For days, unseen energies have been rearranging themselves around you. Paths that once felt blocked are loosening. Numbers you've noticed, dreams you've dismissed, and sensations that pulsed quietly in your chest, all were leading you here. Archangel Michael has watched your spirit labor through seasons of lack and longing, and tonight marks the divine correction of that imbalance. You are not late. You are precisely on heaven's schedule. Something higher has intercepted your routine to whisper, "Stop running in circles." This is not coincidence. It is intervention. The angelic realm has stepped in to prevent you from missing what was already assigned to you. Its slight pause, that strange moment of stillness before you clicked play, that was your signal. Heaven is aligning events behind the veil so that what was withheld can be restored. Archangel Michael stands now between you and the confusion that clouded your path. His sword of truth cuts through energetic fog, revealing clarity and divine opportunity. Round you, your ancestors and spirit guides gather, whispering courage, fortifying faith, opening your spiritual senses so you can finally see what has been waiting. The energies around you are shifting rapidly. Debts are being erased, contracts broken, karmic threads untied. The same frequency that once drained your hope is now being purified. This evening opens a narrow window, one infused with financial grace, and only those who are spiritually awake will feel it pass through. Stay here. Listen until the end. What you are about to hear is not prediction. It is remembrance. Archangel Michael is about to reveal why your name was written on the scroll of divine provision, and why this very evening carries the signature of your long-awaited breakthrough. You're not imagining this. The pull that brought you here, the quiet trembling in your chest, the warmth running through your hands, these are not coincidences. They are confirmations. This is your divine intersection. You were summoned to this very moment because something in the spiritual realm has shifted in your favor, and Archangel Michael was sent to make sure you do not miss it. Heaven hath been observing your struggle, not with punishment but with precision. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every time you question your worth was part of a divine countdown. Now that countdown has reached 0. 19th October. This evening marks the opening of a prophetic window through which blessings that were once withheld are now permitted to flow. The delay has ended. The transaction between your faith and heaven's promise has been authorized. Archangel Michael speaks through this message to announce that the realm of divine order is being restored around your finances, your stability, and your peace. You may have felt as though doors were closing, but those closures were not denial, they were protection. Each detour was heaven's redirection, preparing you to receive without interference. The angels have been rerouting what was stolen, recalibrating what was delayed, and now they say, the blessing is in motion. Listen closely, because this message carries the vibration of release. You were never forgotten. In fact, heaven hath been rehearsing this moment in silence, waiting for your spirit to be strong enough to receive without fear. That's why this video, this sound, this message arrived today, because tonight your energy is aligned with the current of divine compensation. You are stepping into a frequency that carries restoration, not loss, overflow, not lack. This is not random information. This is a sacred interruption. The angels say you've been walking beneath a cloud of worry that wasn't yours to carry. Someone or something has been siphoning your peace, distracting you with small battles while your bigger blessing gathered strength behind the veil. But heaven has seen the interference, and now divine order is returning. You are being called back into remembrance of your power, the truth that prosperity is your spiritual inheritance. Archangel Michael now stands beside you, radiant and fierce, commanding the storm of confusion to still. He says, "Do not chase what is already written in your name." The financial blessing is not approaching you by effort. It is finding you through alignment. Your task now is not to strive, but to receive. Your obedience, your persistence, your quiet faith have unlocked the moment heaven has been waiting for. So be still. Feel the presence that surrounds you. The light you sense is not imagination. It is confirmation that the angelic current is here. Between this moment and the close of this evening, divine transactions are taking place in unseen dimensions. You are not watching this by chance. You are part of the prophecy being fulfilled. Stay with this message until the end, because Archangel Michael will soon reveal who or what tried to delay this breakthrough, and how heaven is now using that same interference as the bridge toward your restoration. You felt it for a long time, that strange heaviness that comes and goes without reason, the sudden blockages that appear just when things start to move forward. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was interference. Heaven calls it a spiritual diversion, and tonight, Archangel Michael pulls back the veil to expose it. What you mistook for confusion was spiritual warfare. What you thought was fatigue with your spirit defending itself against unseen resistance. There was an energy, sometimes a person, sometimes a vibration, sometimes a whisper in your thoughts, that attached itself to your progress. It mirrored your words, echoed your dreams, pretended to care for your growth. But beneath the kindness was calculation. It wanted to keep you small, uncertain, and constantly reaching for approval. Every time you stepped closer to your calling, this presence would send distraction, delay, or doubt. It drained your focus so subtly that you began to question your own intuition. Heaven saw this. Every tear you held in silence, every time you worked harder only to feel more empty, none of it escaped the eyes of the divine. That is why this very evening, Archangel Michael has intervened. His light cuts through illusions, revealing what once hid behind smiles, agreements, or false loyalty. The interference is being removed from your energetic field. What was feeding off your peace is losing access to your power. You don't need to chase closure. Heaven is delivering justice. There may have been someone who disguised jealousy as concern, or someone who seemed to celebrate you in public but doubted you in private. Don't allow bitterness to take root. This exposure is not for revenge. It's for liberation. The truth is surfacing so that your blessings can find you without distortion. The angels say, "We are closing the portals through which your energy leaked." Those emotional drains, the endless cycles of giving, explaining, and apologizing, are being sealed tonight. You might feel an odd stillness in your atmosphere. Silence where there used to be noise. It's heaven reordering the frequencies around you. Archangel Michael says, "Do not chase what I have removed." The energy that once kept you waiting, worrying, or restless has been commanded to release you. From this point, anything that truly belongs to you will come without confusion. Anything that leaves was never part of your divine assignment. And now, heaven begins to send confirmation, encoded in light. Have you been seeing 111? That was the sign of new beginnings quietly building behind the veil. 222 came to remind you of divine balance. 333 confirmed that angelic forces were interceding on your behalf. And 555, that was the mark of sudden change, the evidence that your old cycle was crumbling so a higher one could rise. The numbers you seen were never random. They were divine signatures, proof that your prayers were heard even in silence. You may have also felt fire in your hands, pressure in your forehead, ringing in your ears, or waking suddenly at 3:33 a.m. Those sensations weren't symptoms of stress. They were signals of alignment. Heaven was attuning your frequency to receive the current of blessing. Archangel Michael calls this your financial alignment activation. And so tonight, as 19th October unfolds, heaven releases new codes of prosperity into your field. The vibration of 777 for divine completion and 888 for infinite flow. When you see these numbers next, know this: the interference has been neutralized. Your financial blessing is in motion. Stay here. You are about to understand how every dream, every symbol, and every sign that has surrounded you was not coincidence. It was heaven's handwriting, guiding you toward revelation. You've seen the signs. You just didn't know they were speaking directly to you. Every flickering light, every repeated number, every dream that felt too vivid to ignore, they were not coincidences. They were divine confirmations. Archangel Michael says, you were never disconnected from heaven. You just stopped recognizing its language. And tonight, that language is being translated for your spirit to understand. Think back to the dreams that lingered long after you woke. The door that opened but led to a new place. That was heaven showing you transition. The rising water that frightened you. That was emotional overflow preparing to cleanse old attachments. Fire burning but not consuming. Purification. Snakes slithering through your dreams. Exposure of deceit. Each symbol was part of heaven's ongoing conversation with your higher self, whispering what your waking mind could not yet accept. You've also been receiving physical confirmations. That sudden warmth across your chest, the chill that ran down your arms when you prayed, the tears that came without reason. These were your body's way of saying, I recognize truth. When you woke at 3:33 a.m., the angels were alerting you that the Trinity of Heaven, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, was active in your atmosphere. When you felt burning in your palms or tingling in your crown, your energy field was being rewired to receive what was delayed. These weren't random sensations, they were activations. And yes, the numbers. Those sacred sequences were never accidents of time. When 111 appeared, it was the breath of new creation forming in silence. 222 restored harmony where imbalance reigned. 333 assured you that the divine council was in session, protecting your next chapter. 444 surrounded you with angelic order, a fortress against fear. 555 confirmed sudden change, not chaos but correction. And 777, appearing in the hours before your breakthrough, is the seal of completion. But it is 888 that Archangel Michael emphasizes now, the code of financial resurrection. It represents cycles closing, abundance multiplying, divine compensation releasing. You may have also noticed animals appearing with unusual frequency. A white feather where none should be, a butterfly hovering longer than it should, a bird staring directly at you. These are not coincidences of nature. They are divine messengers wearing earthly disguise. Heaven often uses creation to echo confirmation when words fall short. Even technology can become prophetic, a message replaying twice, a random psalm lyric repeating the same phrase you've prayed. Spirit uses everything when you are ready to listen. The angels say that your environment has been whispering in patterns. Lights flicker when truth enters your space. Objects break when energy needs to shift. You've lost things that were energetically tied to pain, not punishment but purification. Every event, every sound, every repetition around you has been orchestrated to reawaken your trust in divine alignment. And now, as this message unfolds, your awareness itself is the sign. You are remembering that nothing in your life is ordinary. Your perception is your prophecy. When you see 888 next, say aloud, "Heaven remembers me." When you feel warmth in your palms, whisper, "The flow has returned." Every repetition you notice from this night forward will be proof that the interference is gone and the blessing is near. Archangel Michael closes this part of the message with these words: do not dismiss what the universe is repeating. Each sign is a sacred echo reminding you that you are seen, guided, and already being provided for. Stay here. The next revelation will show how the truth, long hidden beneath confusion, is already surfacing in your favor. Heaven says the unmasking has begun. It begins quietly. The unmasking never arrives with thunder. It arrives with truth. What was once clouded by confusion now starts to make sense. The conversations you replayed in your mind, the odd silences, the shifting attitudes, they were not random. Heaven is rearranging events to reveal what once hid in plain sight. This is not coincidence. This is divine exposure. Archangel Michael stands at the center of this process, holding the sword of illumination, commanding all deceit to bow before the light. There will be moments when words slip, secrets surface, or confessions find their way to you without effort. Don't chase them, simply watch. The truth is revealing itself through divine orchestration, not human investigation. Someone who once hid behind spiritual language will show their true motives. A plan that once worked against you will suddenly crumble without warning. You may overhear something, notice a pattern, or receive a message that confirms what your spirit already knew. That's heaven validating your discernment. For so long, you questioned your intuition, doubting if the whispers you felt were real. But now, heaven removes the fog. You are about to witness evidence that you were never wrong. You were being spiritually warned ahead of time. The angels say, the era of confusion has expired. Every mask that once distorted your vision is falling, not by confrontation, but by divine command. The truth does not need your defense. It carries its own authority. You might see people withdrawing suddenly, growing distant without reason. Let them go. Some souls cannot survive in the vibration of honesty. The light within you has grown too bright for deception to hide comfortably. What looks like separation is actually purification. Archangel Michael says, when heaven exposes, heaven protects. The removal of false connections is not loss, it's liberation. You are being spiritually insulated so that your financial and emotional blessings can manifest without interference. This exposure will also touch the material realm. Deals that seemed delayed will suddenly move. Resources that were hidden will resurface. Heaven is not just revealing truth, it's restoring order. Justice is being balanced in silence. The person, pattern, or energy that tried to keep you small has now been rendered powerless. You may sense sudden peace, unusual clarity, or spontaneous joy. These are signs that divine correction has already begun. Do not react in anger. The greatest proof of your victory is your peace. Archangel Michael reminds you, heaven's justice needs no argument. Your silence is your weapon. Your stillness is your declaration. Everything that was taken, manipulated, or delayed is now turning toward you by the law of divine return. The one who once interfered with your flow will be forced to witness your restoration, not as punishment, but as awakening. The shift will be visible soon, through timing, through opportunity, through unexpected blessings aligning perfectly. The same patterns that once worked against you will now work for you. Heaven is writing your story in real time. The truth that once caused pain will now become proof of protection. So be still. Do not fear the exposure. Do not mourn the endings. The unmasking is not your loss. It is your entrance into divine clarity. Archangel Michael whispers, "The battle is over. The light has spoken. Stay here, for the next revelation will uncover what was taken, delayed, or hidden, and why heaven allowed the waiting to become your greatest preparation." Archangel Michael says, "Nothing that was truly meant for you was ever lost. It was being preserved. Every closed door, every silent season, every unanswered prayer was not rejection. It was redirection. Heaven hid your blessing while you healed. What you thought was absence was actually protection. The waiting was never wasted. It was the sacred pause before divine alignment. You have carried burdens that few have seen. The long nights of uncertainty, the frustration of effort without result, the heartbreak of giving much and receiving little. You whispered prayers that seemed to vanish into air, but the angels were recording every word. Every tear you shed became a seed planted in divine soil, waiting for the exact moment to bloom. The moment is now beginning to unfold. 19th October marks not the end of patience, but the beginning of repayment. Heaven reveals that there were seasons when your financial blessings were delayed, not denied. Certain energies around you were not pure enough to handle your abundance. To release it then would have been to waste it. So the angels covered what was yours in invisibility, hidden, guarded, sealed until your vibration matched your destiny. That is why opportunities disappeared without reason, why money came and slipped away, why promises broke at the last moment. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. Archangel Michael calls this the divine preservation of provision. During the delay, you were learning discernment. You were being trained to recognize counterfeit energy disguised as partnership. You were becoming the version of yourself that could sustain what heaven had already planned to send. Had your blessing arrived earlier, you might have shared it with those who would have drained it. But now your spirit is refined, your boundaries are sacred, and heaven can finally trust you with overflow. Every emotional wound, every betrayal, every financial struggle was not a curse, it was an initiation. The angels say, "We allowed temporary emptiness so that you could learn the value of divine fullness." With multiplying, of a delay with a redo. Even the people who left you created space for higher alignment. The silence that once hurt you is now becoming the soil of your peace. You may begin to notice this shift subtly at first. An unexpected refund, a forgotten opportunity reopening, someone remembering a promise, a door you gave up on suddenly knocking again. These are not coincidences. They are divine reimbursements. Heaven is balancing every equation where you gave more than you received. You are stepping into a cycle where blessings return with interest, not because of luck, but because of divine law. Archangel Michael says, "You did not lose it. It was being preserved for your return." Every blessing delayed was gathering strength, waiting for this alignment. The vibration of 888, the infinite cycle of abundance, is now active in your field. When you see it, whisper, "I am ready for divine compensation." The angels assure you, what was withheld is coming back multiplied. What was stolen is being restored sevenfold. The waiting was not a punishment. It was a proof of your chosen status. Heaven trusted you enough to prepare you privately before blessing you publicly. So release regret. The delay was divine. And what's next is not recovery, it's resurrection. Stay here. The next revelation will describe the energetic breakthrough, the sacred shift that happens when your spirit fully detaches from lack and steps into the frequency of peace and overflow. You will feel it before you see it. The breakthrough does not announce itself with noise, it whispers through stillness. It begins as a breath that feels different, a sudden lightness in your body, a strange calm in the space that used to carry tension. That is how heaven confirms that the shift has begun. The spiritual interference that once hovered around you has lost permission to linger. Archangel Michael has sealed what needed sealing, cut what needed cutting, and opened what had been divinely closed. You are free. The air feels different now, cleaner, quieter, clearer. Where there was once mental clutter, there is now a deep silence that feels holy. Do not mistake that silence for emptiness. It is peace reclaiming its rightful place within you. Heaven calls this the restoration of spiritual equilibrium. You are entering a new vibration where your energy is no longer leaking into fear, doubt, or unworthy attachments. Your soul has shifted from striving to receiving. You may cry unexpectedly or feel warmth radiate through your chest. You may feel the urge to rest, to be still, to breathe more deeply than you have in months. These are not random sensations. They are confirmations of release. Heaven is reprogramming your frequency for overflow. What once triggered anxiety will now trigger alignment. What once made you chase validation will now remind you of your worth. This is the energy of divine peace replacing the vibration of scarcity. Archangel Michael says, "Do not look for your breakthrough in noise. It will come through knowing." The blessing will not roar. It will rise. You won't need to force it or prove yourself to receive it. This shift won't be loud. It will be sacred. It will show itself through effortless flow, doors opening without struggle, opportunities arriving without explanation, favor finding you without pursuit. You are stepping into divine ease, the dimension where grace does the heavy lifting. You might notice certain people going silent or drifting away. Don't chase the silence. It's holy. Heaven removes voices that no longer resonate with your upgraded vibration. The ones who remain will feel peaceful to your spirit, not draining to your energy. This is how you will know alignment has settled. You will no longer have to convince anyone of your worth. Your presence will speak it for you. The angels say this shift is internal, but its effects are external. Financial doors will respond to your new vibration. Hidden opportunities will sense your readiness and appear. Relationships will either evolve or dissolve depending on what serves your ascension. You won't need to do much. Your energy itself has become a magnet for provision. Heaven has elevated your frequency to match your blessing. You have been transformed from seeker to receiver, from survivor to steward, from the one waiting for miracles to the one carrying them. The interference has ended. The alignment has begun. The universe is no longer resisting your flow. It's synchronizing with it. So pause. Breathe. Whisper to yourself, "Peace is my new currency. Stillness is my new strength. Abundance is my natural state." You are standing in the calm after the cleansing. The energy that once drained you has been rewritten into light. The storm has passed, and what remains is sacred. Stay here, because the next message reveals the final test, the last illusion or emotional bait that may try to pull you back before full liberation is sealed. Archangel Michael says, this is where discernment becomes your armor. Archangel Michael speaks softly but firmly. Before every liberation, there is one final test. When heaven is about to release you fully, the energy that once drained you will try to return, not to reconnect, but to confirm that you've learned what the delay was meant to teach. This is not punishment. It is proof of your ascension. The same energy that once disguised itself as comfort will reappear, wearing the mask of change, whispering promises it never kept. But you must see through it. It may come as a message, a dream, a sudden thought, or a person you haven't heard from in months. It will arrive wrapped in nostalgia, speaking the language of "I've been thinking about you," or "I finally understand." Do not be deceived. This is not reconciliation. It is recognition. Heaven is allowing the old to echo once more, so that you can witness your growth in real time. You are no longer the same soul who needed their approval, their apology, or their attention. You have been purified by the waiting. Archangel Michael says, they will offer peace, but it is poison. It will sound sincere, but you will feel a vibration beneath it, a tremor in your spirit, a quiet warning in your chest. It is heaven whispering, do not return to what I've released you from. The test is not about them. It's about you. Will you choose peace over familiarity? Silence over explanation? Faith over fear? Your discernment is your weapon now. In this phase, the temptation will not appear dark. It will appear gentle. It will mirror the new version of you, pretending to have evolved too. But energy never lies. Listen not to words, but to how your body reacts. You feel contraction or expansion, peace or pressure, confusion or clarity. The entity of heaven never confuses. When something is truly aligned, your spirit exhales. When it is not, you feel the subtle tightening that tells you, this is the past trying to reclaim space in your future. Some of you will face this test through opportunity, an offer that looks abundant but carries compromise. Others through relationship, a person who senses your glow and returns, not to love but to feed on light. The angels say, this is not the return of love, it is the return of temptation. Do not engage. Observe. The test will dissolve once it is recognized. You pass it by not reacting, by choosing silence instead of proving yourself. Remember, your silence terrifies what once controlled you. Your stillness is spiritual warfare. When you say nothing, heaven speaks on your behalf. The old cycle cannot continue without your participation. That is the secret Archangel Michael wants you to remember. You do not have to fight what has already lost authority over you. If tears come, let them. That is the last of the energy leaving your system. If memories rise, bless them. That is how you close the cycle without bitterness. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is freedom. Heaven cannot fill a heart still holding on to resentment. Let it go, and the void will fill itself with peace. Archangel Michael concludes this warning with these words, do not open the door when I have sealed it. The one knocking carries the vibration of your old lesson, not your new blessing. You are at the threshold now, one step away from complete release. The next message will reveal what happens after the test, the prophetic revelation where divine restoration, abundance, and justice manifest openly. Heaven says, when this test ends, the blessing appears. The storm has passed. The test is complete. Heaven now declares, you have crossed the threshold. The old vibration has lost its hold. The interference has been dissolved, and your name has been written on the scroll of restoration. Archangel Michael stands before you, his sword lowered in peace, his wings surrounding your energy field with golden light. You have proven your faith, and now the realm of divine recompense opens before you. The angels rejoice because you have chosen discernment over illusion, patience over panic, silence over struggle. Every tear, every delay, every rejection has now matured into divine evidence. Heaven says, you have been seen, you have been tested, and you have been approved. What was withheld is now being released in full measure, not as fragments but as overflow. The financial blessing that was spoken over this night is not coming. It has already begun. The gates of divine provision are open. Energy that once drained you has been replaced with favor. Doors that refused to move now open without effort. What was hidden from you will now seek you out. The vibration of 888 surrounds you, echoing infinite flow. A seal of 777 confirms Kabbalion. Your alignment is now your magnet. Abundance is locating you even as you listen. Archangel Michael declares these words. The energy is cleared. The cycle is broken. The interference is finished. The blessing is alive. Repeat these affirmations aloud and release them into your atmosphere. I am aligned with heaven's divine order. I am walking in clarity, peace, and provision. What is mine cannot be delayed any longer. The flow of abundance responds to my faith. I receive the financial blessing heaven has prepared for me this very evening. As you say these words, imagine light pouring through your hands, your home, your path ahead. Feel the warmth. That is confirmation. Heaven moves where faith is spoken. If you receive this message, write or speak your agreement aloud. Declare your code of activation. Amen. 111, 333, 555, 888. These are not numbers. They are divine affirmations sealed in time. Archangel Michael's final words echo softly, but powerfully. Rest now. The war is over. You have entered the covenant of restoration. From this moment forward, peace will follow you, and abundance will find you.